Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we are taking a deep breath, I guess, and tackling something really powerful. Self-confidence.
Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? Everyone talks about it.
Exactly. We hear constantly, confidence is key, key to success, key to everything. But when you actually, look at the research, the definitions, the strategies,
Yeah.
it's way more complex than just, well, feeling good.
Absolutely. And the sources we've gathered really highlight that. True self-confidence, it seems, is dynamic, it's actionable, it helps us set bigger goals. Yeah, but also stay motivated when things go wrong.
And boost our well-being overall.
Right. So our mission today is really to cut through some of that vagueness. We've synthesized a stack of research focusing not just on what confidence is, but more importantly, how you actually build it.
Building it from the ground up, you mean?
Kind of. Looking at the whole picture, your abilities, sure, but also that deeper sense of self-worth.
Okay, right. Let's definitely unpack that. And starting with the definition seems like the right place because the sources pointed out pretty quickly. This is where it gets kind of muddy.
It does.
Casually, we tend to think of confidence as just how we feel about what we can do, right?
Right.
Our abilities.
Right. But to put a finer point on it, the academic view defines confidence more specifically. It's a person's sense of their own competence.
Competence, okay.
And their perceived capability to deal effectively with different situations. So that could be performance at work or how you handle social stuff or, learning a new skill.
So it's like a prediction. I think I can handle this.
Essentially, yes. I believe I have what it takes for this challenge.
Okay, but that immediately brings up a really crucial distinction.
Yeah.
Our sources were super clear on this, and it feels important for you, the listener, to really grasp it. The difference between self-confidence and self-esteem.
Yes. They overlap, definitely, but they are not the same beast. Self-esteem, well, that's much broader. It's our overall evaluation of ourselves.
Like how much we like ourselves.
Exactly. How much we approve of or value ourselves as people. And here's the core insight, the thing our sources really hammered home. You could have a huge list of achievements.
Right, like a packed resume, high competence.
Totally. High technical confidence in what you do, but you could still struggle profoundly with self-esteem, still feel deep down not good enough.
So you could be, I don't know, an amazing surgeon, technically brilliant.
Yeah.
But walk into the OR every day feeling like a total fraud.
Precisely. The confidence in your ability to do the surgery is sky high. But the esteem, your belief in your own inherent worth, that could be in the basement.
And that feels like the critical point when we talk about pursuing goals. Because if you're chasing success, the promotion, the perfect body, more money, but you're doing it only to try and prove to yourself or others that you're finally good enough, well, you're just constantly chasing something outside yourself.
External validation, yeah. And our sources kind of blur that line on purpose because, let's face it, most people seeking confidence are actually looking for that deeper, stable feeling of self-worth.
Not just another achievement that doesn't really change how they feel inside.
Exactly. If the motivation is just external, just trying to fix that feeling of worthlessness, any confidence boost you get from succeeding is, well, temporary. It's conditional.
They need something more solid.
We really do. Which brings us to the starting point for a lot of people. That really painful feeling of lacking confidence.
Yeah, we all know what that feels like. Feeling insecure, doubting yourself, feeling unsure.
That instinct to just withdraw, right? Avoid trying something new because you're terrified of failing or looking stupid.
It can be paralyzing, that apprehension.
It really can. And that's the standard story, isn't it? Low confidence equals bad outcomes. But here's where our sources threw in a curveball, something I found honestly pretty fascinating.
Okay.
They pivot pretty quickly to the unexpected positive side, the qualities often associated with low confidence.
Wait, hang on. A positive side to low confidence. I genuinely never thought of it that way. What does that even look like?
Well, think about it. People who are really aware of their limitations, their gaps in competence, they are also, almost by definition, less likely to be arrogant, right?
Okay, yeah. Less egotistical, less assuming.
Exactly. They're often more careful, more willing to double-check their work, more open to asking questions because they don't assume they know everything. There's a kind of built-in humility there.
That makes sense. High confidence can sometimes shade into arrogance.
It can. But the real game changer for me reading this stuff was the courage connection. This feels like the big aha moment of this whole deep dive.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Courage.
Yeah. Think about acting when you fundamentally, deep down, don't believe in yourself. The sources use examples like, learning to ride a bike.
Oh, yeah, falling off repeatedly.
Right. Or getting up to give a presentation when you have crippling stage fright. After you fall off that bike for the third time, your confidence is probably zero, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely zero.
Yeah.
Maybe negative.
And yet, you get back on. You decide to try again.
You're acting even without any proof of success. In fact, you have proof of failure.
Exactly. And acting without that conviction of success, acting despite the fear and the doubt, that takes an incredible amount of courage.
Wow. Okay.
So the moment you decide to face that fear, no matter how shaky you feel, you're actually building something vital. You're either building confidence if it goes well.
Or you're demonstrating sheer raw courage just by trying.
Right, which completely reframes the whole experience of trying something new and scary, doesn't it?
It really does. It means you can't actually lose. You're always cultivating one of two incredibly important life skills: confidence or courage.
And honestly, both are equally valuable assets in life. So the goal now becomes, how do we deliberately shift from relying only on courage to actually building that competence, that belief in our ability?
Okay, so if we want to structure a way to intentionally start building confidence, the sophists talk about getting into something called the confidence spiral.
The spiral. Yeah, this is the key, they argue, for creating that positive feedback loop we need.
So successful experiences lead to more confidence.
And that confidence makes you more likely to try the next thing, which leads to more success and so on. It's this upward climb.
But the tricky part is always starting it, right? Getting that first little bit of upward momentum.
That's the challenge. How do you guarantee that first successful experience? And the sources give us a pretty straightforward 4-part action plan designed specifically for that.
Okay, what's the plan?
The emphasis, crucially, is on certainty, not on the size of the goal.
Right. So step 1, set a tiny, almost ridiculously easy, totally doable goal. We are not talking about running a marathon tomorrow.
No way.
We're talking make your bed this morning, or commit to 5 minutes of focused work on one task. You pick something you are absolutely 100% sure you will do.
And if 5 minutes feels too hard, make it 1 minute. The goal here is to remove all the pressure, all the stakes.
We're not testing limits.
Not at all. We're just gathering evidence. Evidence that you're the kind of person who follows through on what you say you'll do, even if it's tiny.
Okay, done the tiny thing.
Yeah.
What's step 2? This one seems important.
It is, and it's maybe the most overlooked part. You have to immediately take a moment to self-reflect and actually affirm that accomplishment. Don't just brush it off like, oh, anyone could do that.
So stop and actually acknowledge it. Hey, I said I'd do that and I did it. Okay, now I know I can handle the next small thing.
Exactly. Give yourself the credit. Log it in your internal scoreboard. Because that logging, that conscious acknowledgement, is critical for neuroplasticity. You're literally reinforcing the brain pathways associated with follow-through.
Okay, makes sense. Log the win. Step 3.
Set a slightly harder goal. And the sources really stress the word slightly.
Right. Don't jump from a 5-minute run to trying for 40 minutes.
Absolutely not. Maybe the next goal is 6 minutes. Or maybe it's running for 5 minutes again, but then adding 2 minutes of stretching. It's the small incremental gain that matters.
Because trying too much too soon just sets you up for failure.
Precisely. We often derail the whole spiral by taking too big a leap. We fail. And that failure just reinforces the old negative belief. See? I knew I couldn't do it. Incremental success is the engine here.
Got it. Slow and steady builds the spiral. And step 4, obviously.
Rinse and repeat. Keep setting achievable goals. Keep achieving them. Keep acknowledging them. This consistent practice is how you systematically build up what researchers call self-efficacy.
Self-efficacy.
Oh.
Okay, define that again.
It's your practical belief in your own ability to achieve what you set out to do. It's the I can do this belief tied to specific actions.
Okay, so it's focused on the doing. But like we said earlier, real confidence needs to be rooted in the whole self, right? Not just the action.
Exactly. So let's pivot back to that deeper foundation we mentioned. Self-worth.
Why is self-worth so critical here? If I'm building my self-efficacy, my belief in my abilities, shouldn't that be enough?
It helps, but maybe not if the underlying feeling is still, I'm fundamentally unworthy. Our sources suggest that the most crucial contributor to stable, lasting confidence is knowing your own inherent value.
Okay.
Because if you feel worthless deep down, you might pursue goals, like we discussed, not because they genuinely excite you or feel good, but mostly to try and disprove that negative belief about yourself.
Okay, I see. That really explains the difference between acting for, external validation versus acting authentically for
It
ourselves.
really does. If you're constantly doing what your boss asks or what some acquaintance wants, maybe sacrificing your own needs or time just to get that little pat on the back.
That brief feeling of approval.
Yeah, but it never really sticks, does it? It's like putting a tiny bandage on a much deeper issue.
And the real problem, maybe, is if chasing that approval means you constantly ignore your own needs, like you don't set boundaries, you're afraid to say no.
Exactly. You actually end up harming your self-worth in the long run, even if you technically succeed at the task. You're basically signaling to yourself that external judgment matters more than your own well-being.
Oof. Okay. So the shift needs to be internal.
It has to be. It's about committing to act based on the conviction that your own needs, your own wants, your own well-being are just as important as anyone else's. Your actions need to reflect that self-respect.
Right. So once we make that internal commitment, maybe start setting those boundaries, acting more for ourselves. We probably need some mental tools to help solidify that new mindset.
Definitely. And the sources offer some really practical ones. Let's talk about affirmations first. They broke them down into 3 useful types.
Okay, affirmations. I know some people are skeptical.
And fair enough, if they're just seen as reciting empty phrases. But the idea here is that they are active mental exercises, tools to deliberately rewire negative thought patterns.
Okay, I'm listening. What's the first type?
The first is basically talking back to your inner critic. This is direct confrontation. So if your automatic thought is, ugh, I'm terrible at making friends,
Yeah, that critical voice.
you consciously formulate an affirmation that challenges it and shifts it towards potential. Something like, I have the ability and the willingness to meet new people and build connections. You're not saying you're amazing at it yet, but you're affirming the potential and ability.
Okay, challenging the negative directly.
Got it.
Second type.
The second focuses on affirming positive intrinsic qualities. This is about reminding yourself who you are at your core, separate from what you achieve. Things like, I am kind, I am curious, I am a determined person.
So focusing on character, not just actions.
Exactly. This helps build that foundational self-esteem, that sense of inherent worth.
And the third type.
The third focuses back on affirming specific skills and abilities, hitting that competence piece again. So things like, I am a skilled communicator, I'm good at organizing my work, I am hardworking.
This feels like using past evidence, right? Reminding yourself of things you have actually done or skills you do possess.
Precisely. It uses concrete evidence of past success, even small ones, to fuel confidence for future challenges. It reminds you, hey, you've learned things before, you've developed skills before, you can absolutely do it again.
Okay, 3 types of affirmations. What else? You mentioned other mental strategies.
Right, 2 more science-backed ones that really help cultivate that deeper sense of worth. The first is practicing self-compassion.
Self-compassion, treating yourself kindly.
Basically, yes, especially when you mess up or face setbacks, instead of beating yourself up with self-criticism.
Which is often the default.
Totally. Instead, you try to treat yourself with the same kindness, the same understanding you'd offer a friend who was struggling. It involves recognizing our shared humanity. Hey, everyone struggles, everyone fails sometimes, and just being gentle with the parts of ourselves we don't like.
So it's about not making a bad situation worse by adding self-attack on top of it.
You got it. And research shows it really helps cultivate a more stable, positive attitude towards yourself. The second strategy is cultivating self-focused optimism.
Optimism, looking on the bright side.
A bit more active than that. Optimism is generally looking towards the future with hope, and the idea is you can actually train this. The sources suggest using visualization exercises.
Like picturing things going well.
Exactly. Actively imagining your best possible future self or visualizing yourself successfully reaching a specific goal. This isn't about magical thinking. It's about helping your brain get used to the idea of your success.
So normalizing the idea that good outcomes are possible for you.
Precisely. It helps the mind adjust and makes success feel less alien or undeserved.
Okay, that makes sense. And there was one more tool. Supportive self-talk.
Yes. And this one's a slightly different take on affirmations. Instead of using I statements, I am capable, you use second or third person statements talking to yourself.
Like using you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing a great job, or you've got this, or even you deserve to be happy.
Why does that work?
It's a fascinating psychological quirk. It creates a bit of distance. By talking to yourself as you, it can often feel less like you're trying to convince yourself and more like you're receiving encouragement from a supportive coach or maybe like a wise friend or guardian angel figure.
Huh. Externalizing the support to help internalize the confidence.
That's a great way to put it. It leverages that distance to make the supportive message land more effectively for some people.
Wow. Okay, that is a really comprehensive roadmap we've covered. We started by defining confidence, really nailing down that it's about abilities.
Right. Competence and capability.
And clearly separating it from that broader idea of self-esteem, our overall self-worth.
And then we hit that really surprising insight that even when we lack confidence, those moments are actually opportunities to build or demonstrate incredible courage.
That was huge. You're never really losing if you're trying.
Exactly. And then we laid out that practical action plan, the spiral starting super small, acknowledging the wins, and building incrementally.
Building that self-efficacy step by step.
While also using those crucial mindset tools, affirmations, self-compassion, optimism, that supportive self-talk, to build the deeper foundation.
The self-worth piece.
Yeah.
So you're addressing the whole self, not just the skills.
Right. Combining the competence-building actions with the self-worth-building mindset. That seems to be the key.
So as you, our listeners, start integrating maybe just one or two of these strategies into your life, we want to leave you with a final, powerful thought to mull over. It's a quote from Peter T. McIntyre.
It really captures the essence, I think. He said, "Confidence comes not from always being right,
but from not fearing to be wrong."
That lack of fear.
That fearless commitment to just acting, even when you're not sure how it'll turn out, that feels like the ultimate expression of that courage we talked about.
And maybe the real catalyst for genuine, lasting self-confidence.
Absolutely. Go apply this knowledge, experiment with it, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.